Well, Shire Patel and Glenn Levine, welcome back to Inside South Florida.
It's good to be back. We're happy to be here with you again.
Yes, we got our pros, of course, from Andujar and Levine. Now, we're talking today about construction in South Florida. We always make jokes about there always being construction on every major highway, but what's not as funny as when you get into an accident because of this construction. So, guys, talk to us here. If that were to happen, what do we do? How do we handle the situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge driving through South Florida because everything, one day it's a lane and an exit and you just don't know. So, prevention obviously is the key to prevent getting an accident. We represent people in accidents, but the last thing we want to do is see people get in accidents. So slow down and really kind of understand what's happening. Sometimes if in a construction situation, things come up really quickly. So try and just have a little bit of an extra patience when you're driving. But if you do happen to get in a crash, the same rules apply. Call the police, document the scene, make sure you understand your rights, certainly get the information from whatever the other vehicle and get a copy of the police report and take pictures. That's really the critical piece in that type of situation, because if you're claiming that the way or the design of how the construction company has set up the alternate route or the detour is a contributing factor, we need evidence of that because the next day could change, right? So the more pictures you take and the more videos you can take and just kind of understanding what actually happened is going to help us in that type of case.
Yeah, great advice, guys. And in talking about, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Glenn,
I don't want to cut you off.
No, Glenn's great.
I love it. Well, another issue that seems to come up as well when you're on these major highways is commercial trucks.
Yeah.
What would happen if you get into an accident with a commercial truck while driving?
Right. Well, no, and obviously just Florida nature of just being close to all the ports and just, we see quite a bit of them, right, in all the major highways, whether it's down here on 95. But if you are involved in an accident involving a semi-truck or a commercial truck, first and foremost, take as many pictures as you can, call the police, make sure you're okay. Injuries, your medical and your health is always first and foremost important. But something that Glenn and I see quite a bit is sometimes these trucks are so big, they don't even feel that they've done something. They just keep going. Right? So try to get as much photos as you can, any witnesses that are nearby, because although it's a semi-truck, sometimes there's no signage. It could be there as an independent contractor is working for this company who's now rented out this trailer. So call us immediately to get us all that information. We'll do all the groundwork to find out all the parties involved. Glenn deals with this on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So.
There's actually special rules the federal government has, whether depending on the truck goes out of Florida or within Florida. But the trucking industry, these are big pieces of equipment on the road, and like Shire says, sometimes they don't even know that they hit you, or sometimes maybe they do know and they just decide to keep driving. But it's really important. These trucks are enormous and they can really cause a lot of damage. So again, talk about prevention. Give them a wide berth. Understand, they make wide right turns. That sticker in the back of the truck is there for a reason. So you have a responsibility to understand that you've got to work with the truck. But if the truck is negligent, usually those are pretty significant cases, and there's always a puzzle in trying to figure out who owns the tractor, who owns the trailer, who are they working for, who are they delivering for. It's a lot to unpack. So the more you can get at the scene is always going to help us kind of have a head start.
Yeah, we already know driving in South Florida can be crazy, so let's do all we can to be safe while doing it. And the good thing is we have the great knowledge from you guys if anything ever does happen. So where can we go for more information to contact you and maybe ask some more questions if we need to?
Well, Shire's our social media, he's the face of our Instagram, but we have a ton of information on our website. You can check out our website. We're on Instagram and cell phones, and we like to make ourselves as accessible as possible. So call us and we'll be happy to talk to you.
There you go, our Insta famous guy right here on the couch with us. You can contact them yourself. Guys, thanks so much for coming back to the show. Always great hearing from y'all.
Thank you.
Great to be here.